People ask, what is a neo-humanist school? The answer has to begin with, what is neo-humanist philosophy? And that answer must be the same in every place, in every school that we have. And neo-humanism, in a nutshell, is the embracing of all things as being one with oneself. That means expanding one's love to include all people, animals, plants, everything. And then to devote one's life to finding that oneness and to expressing that oneness. That is the philosophy of neo-humanism. Now the question arises, how do we apply this philosophy to creating a school? It begins with the people that we choose, and then it moves towards what are we going to teach these children? What is the curriculum going to be? And then it moves towards what is the method that we're going to use to impart this information? And finally, what is the facility going to look like? Now, Sarkar gave the philosophy. The application he left up to individuals, and there's a reason for that. It is because the application will vary according to culture, according to time, and according to person.
People ask about the difference between neo-humanist education and, say, Steiner or Montessori and other kinds of forms people have heard of. Ours is not any particular methodology, but it's a philosophy of education. And so this philosophy of education is about the kind of people that we're trying to create, who are neo-humanist people with an expanded radius of love and a sense of their gifts and an ability to use those gifts and a willingness to use those gifts to make a change in society, to create that whole new wave in society. And so a school that's under a tree in Africa is going to be different from a very high-level classroom on Long Island, and so the methods may change, but the philosophy is always the same.
The human being is, in a neo-humanist context, is being prepared for the fullness of life. So they're not being readied just for a job, or in the defensive sense of being readied so that they can compete and outcompete with other people, which is a lot of the object of our mainstream education today. They're being ready to embrace life, and that means being aware of what it means to be a democratic citizen and what it means to honour the earth, what it means to be sustainably inclined and thoughtful.
Coming to the school, I have overcome my fear of talking in front of people, like big crowds. All the other schools I've been to, they don't teach you to be caring about the environment and animals and everything. And also that the teachers are nicer, you're more free.
The goal of a neo-humanist school is to help a child to know themselves, to develop themselves, and to offer themselves to the world.
We are the children of the crystal river that springs clear from its source. We speak in trickles and in waterfalls.
The teachers first have to establish a good relationship with their students before they can teach neo-humanistic education. While generally there is no set application of neo-humanistic education, one thing Sarkar did say is that teaching for children should be through games and play, because of their innate fondness for such mediums. Sarkar also said that children love fantasies and stories, so teaching should also utilize these as well. Sarkar warned teachers about being too stern with their students. They should see all their students, regardless of their age, as children, and they themselves as children, and always keeping a close and sweet relationship with each student.
Neo-humanism is to increase the radius of your love and to expand your heart to include everything. And then we talked about how at the school we have a few different ways that we teach the children this love. And so part of it is through the meditation and quiet time. So that's the internalized, that they'll get that feeling in the peace of their own mind.
Afterwards, when I finish meditating, I still feel relaxed and happy and excited. And it's easier to do my work.
When you meditate, your body feels relaxed and you can clear all the problems. Then just helps you feel your inner soul.
And there's also the rational training through ecology and science they learn how intricate everything is, and they develop that love. And then we talked about there was another way, was that through the model of the teachers caring for each child, they actually experience love and being loved. And so that's why it was so important that each teacher had that sense of caring, and that's what the importance of the teaching in Neohumanism is, to model that kind of love that we want the children to bring to the world.
Particularly in the older grades, we've found that, you know, with pseudo culture and different pressures from society in general, it's very hard for children to think of anything other than themselves, because that's what they're taught to do. Think of what I need, how I need it now, rah-de-rah. And so for us it's really, really important to actually actively teach them about service and what it means to do service, what it does for your being, to be a person who you know, gives service freely and openly to other people. Service to us is incredibly important. It's ethos of Neohumanism.
I'm really excited. I think it's fantastic. Been wanting to run a soup kitchen for years. So it'll be great for them. Yeah, they'll see how lucky they are.
I loved going to City Care because it was great fun feeding all the people that don't have homes, and it was just a really nice atmosphere for them to be having lunch. Yeah, I just really loved it, and I want to go back there because it was really fun helping them and everything.
When I got back, I felt really weird because I felt like I had such a much better lifestyle than they do, and I really wanted to do something about that. I'd donate money and cans and stuff to the homeless, and I'd try and help them in as many ways as possible.